A court has told a bank to seize money directly from Benny Hinn's ministry accounts. Not a fine, not a warning letter, a writ of garnishment, a legal instrument that bypasses the debtor entirely and goes straight to their bank. And this time, it's over a bill that Benny Hinn Ministries owed to a printing company. A printing company. One that was apparently hired to send out mass mail, fundraising mailers most likely, and then never paid for the work. Stay with me, because this story is about more than a disputed invoice. It is about a pattern. And patterns, as we say on this channel, don't lie. Benny Hinn is one of the most recognizable figures in the Word of Faith movement. For decades, he has filled arenas, broadcast on major Christian television networks, and built a ministry empire anchored in prosperity theology. The idea that faith and often financial giving unlocks divine blessing. His ministry, World Healing Center Church, operates out of Grapevine, Texas. It uses the trade name Benny Hinn Ministries, and it claims church status, a distinction that carries significant legal and financial implications, as we'll get to. Now, in September 2025, a company called Print Mailpro filed suit against the ministry. According to the lawsuit, between January and May of 2025, Print Mailpro produced a substantial volume of printed materials and mass mail marketing services for the ministry. And when the bill came due, they weren't paid. In January 2026, Judge John P. Chupp ruled against the ministry on summary judgment. Summary judgment, for those unfamiliar with the term, it means the case was clear enough that a full trial wasn't even necessary. The judge looked at the evidence and said, "There is no genuine dispute here. You owe this money." The court ordered World Healing Center Church to pay Print Mailpro $144,617.52 in actual damages, plus a daily accrual of $64.93 from November 6, 2025 through the date of judgment. The ministry was also ordered to pay Print Mailpro's legal fees. Benny Hinn Ministries did not pay. So in February 2026, Print Mailpro went back to court, this time filing for a writ of garnishment. And in March, that writ was served on Frost Bank in San Antonio, where the ministry holds accounts. The amount the bank was authorized to seize, $159,615.85, plus interest and costs. Let me say that again. The court authorized a bank to reach into Benny Hinn Ministries' accounts and extract money, because the ministry refused or failed to pay what it legally owed. Now, if this were an isolated incident, we might call it a dispute. A vendor disagreement, one of those things. But this is not isolated. In 2021, just 5 years ago, a federal court required World Healing Center Church to pay Mail America Communications, Incorporated, nearly $3 million, $2,993,221.74 to be precise, plus interest and attorney's fees. And here is the line from Judge Alvin Hellerstein's ruling that you need to hear. For nearly 15 years, defendant had been falling behind its payment obligations, with over $5.6 million in arrears by early 2012. 15 years. $5.6 million in unpaid obligations. Following that ruling, the Trinity Foundation, the Dallas-based watchdog organization that has monitored Hinn's ministry for years, reported that an anonymous informant described WHCC's spending priorities this way: pay ministry executives first, vendors last. We cannot independently verify that characterization, but the court record is public. The pattern is documented. And a pattern of not paying people who provided real services, printers, mail companies, while ministry leadership continues operating and receiving compensation, raises serious stewardship questions. Here's where this gets structurally important. And this is something every Christian donor needs to understand. World Healing Center Church claims church status. That word, church, is not just a theological designation. It is a legal and financial shield. Because churches, unlike other nonprofits, are not required to file IRS Form 990. The 990 is the document that discloses total revenue, total expenses, officer compensation, legal settlements, and other information that allows the public to scrutinize how donor dollars are spent. No 990 means no disclosure. No disclosure means donors are giving without visibility into where their money goes. Now, one of the defining characteristics of a church, legally, is a distinct membership. And according to reporting from Trinity Foundation, there is no mention of the word membership anywhere on Benny Hinn's website. This matters, because if an organization calls itself a church primarily to avoid financial disclosure, not because it functions as one, that is a misuse of a religious exemption designed to protect genuine congregations. In 2005, a Trinity Foundation investigator, Pete Evans, while going through discarded documents near Hinn's law firm, a practice known as dumpster diving, which is legal, found documents indicating the IRS was auditing World Healing Center Church. Trinity compiled a brief challenging the ministry's church status. The IRS did not act on it, but Senator Chuck Grassley of the Senate Finance Committee did. He launched an inquiry into 6 large media ministries, and Hinn's was among them. That inquiry never produced enforceable consequences, but the questions it raised remain unanswered. I want to be careful here about what we are, and are not, saying. Courts make judgments. Ministries get into financial trouble. We are not asserting fraud or malice. What we are asserting is this. The documented record raises accountability questions that ministry leadership owes its donors, and owes the broader Christian public, clear answers to. When a ministry sends out mass mailers asking for donations, hires a company to print and send those mailers, and then does not pay that company, and a court must intervene, and then that happens again, years later, you are no longer looking at a financial hiccup. You are looking at a structural pattern. And donors who gave to that ministry in 2025 deserve to know. Did their gifts go toward vendor payments? Legal judgments? Executive compensation? They cannot know, because there is no Form 990. That silence is not neutral. It is, at minimum, a failure of stewardship and transparency. The court docket for the Print Mailpro case is publicly viewable on txcourts.gov. Trinity Foundation, which has been covering Benny Hinn's financial operations for decades, broke this story, and will link to their full report in the description. If you found this episode valuable, share it with someone in your church who gives to television ministries. Not to cause alarm, but because informed generosity is faithful generosity. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Because stories like this rarely trend. They only reach people because you share them. I'll see you in the next one. Keep watching. Keep asking questions.